Right, so once you've drilled your two pieces of wood, the next stage is to mark it out so it fits your phone and will amplify the sound. So you might have taken the measurements from your homework, or you might have your phone in front of you. Either is okay. What we're going to do is we're going to get our phone and we're going to place it somewhere on our piece of wood where we want the phone to be put in. Okay. Otherwise, what you can do is get your ruler and then transfer the measurement onto the piece of wood, just using the measurements from your homework. Okay, so the important parts are obviously the width of the phone, the length of the phone, and also more importantly, or probably most importantly, whereabouts this speaker is. Okay, we want to amplify the sound, we don't want to block it off so it gets muffled. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place the phone on top of the piece of wood with my case on, or you can take the case off depending on what you want. And then I'm going to draw around. Now you need to bear in mind, it's quite important that you leave enough space at the bottom for us to make a channel to where our cone is going to go, which is going to amplify the sound. So don't put it too low, don't put it right at the bottom here and not leave yourself enough space. I'm going to put it about halfway here, and then what I'm going to do is I'm simply going to take my pencil and I'm going to draw nice and clearly around the outside of the phone. Okay, so give me my measurements here. Again, if you haven't got your phone or you're working off your measurements, what you'll need to do is measure along, make a mark, and then measure the width of your phone and make another mark, and then use the tri-square to do two straight lines down here, and then the ruler to do another square down here. But you want it to be nice and tight so it's going to fit your phone in. Obviously later we can test it. What I'm also going to check is where my speaker is. So I'm going to have a look down here, and my speaker is here, so I'm going to make a mark and here. Okay, so I've got my phone marked on, that you can see there, and I've got two marks where my speaker is. Now what we're going to do is we're going to remove this material, so all of this in here is going to be taken out. So I'm going to put some cross hatches in there and mark that out. If you want to neaten this up with a tri-square you can do, or just tracing around it should be absolutely fine. Okay, so what I'm now going to do is I'm going to follow these lines through here, and I'm going to follow these all the way up and take it to my hole where my cone is going to be. Now what we need to make sure we do, the sound works by the space getting larger and larger and larger. So what we need to do is we need to make sure that this part here, this sort of funnel if you like, this sort of cone shape that goes into our plastic cone, gets larger and larger too. So I'm going to start here and I'm going to come here, and then I'm going to get larger and larger and larger and get out here. So can you see, apart from maybe here, maybe I need to make it a little bit wider here, like so. The actual shape here gets larger as it gets near here, and that will help with really amplifying the sound and making your sound as loud as it can be for your passive amplifier. So the next stage is obviously taking a pencil and either the measurements or your actual phone, marking it out on one of the middle pieces of wood. This only needs to be done on one of the pieces, okay, and then later we're going to take a saw and we're going to cut and we're going to remove all of this area, including this part here. So all of this part will be removed when we do it later on. Okay, so that's how you mark out your middle piece of wood to get your phone to fit in.